Welcome to Vlogtober day 19, everybody! We do have those awkward shadows right now. That's just how the 4 o'clock hour is this time of year. But I did just get back from Target, and this is my smallest Target haul ever. I could have bought so many books. I saw so many books that I want to read, but I was like, I am already not listening to myself. I haven't bought like any horror books this month. I'm just wilding out here because I knew I was going to buy a lot, and I had to spend a certain amount of money today to get a $20 reward that is expires on the 25th. So I was just like, this is my last chance. I have to do it. And yeah, I'm kind of sleepy today because I was itchy like when I woke up. My chest was. Don't know why, but I took some Benadryl and that made me very sleepy, and I did take a nap during the 3 o'clock hour, so I didn't read, but I literally just have one chapter left, I'm pretty sure, and she has her mother's left, so I will be finishing that soon. So I just knew that I don't have a lot to read today, so I didn't really need to worry about anything. But I'm all good now. Like, I'm not itchy or anything anymore. I don't even know what caused it. I didn't eat anything different. I didn't wear anything different really, so I don't know what, and I didn't use any new products. I don't know what was all up with that, but I do have my receipt here. The first one is one that is one of my highly anticipated books, and that is Our Missing Hearts by Celeste Ning. This is a Reese's Book Club, and it was $20.30 as it was 30% off. I read Little Fires Everywhere last Vlogtober. Now we're not going to be reading this Vlogtober just because even if I'm not buying horror, I'm going to try to stick to reading horror. But I'm just really excited for this one. And then I got the Target Book Club pick because they're books I've usually never heard of, but ones when I look at them, I'm like, oh my gosh, that sounds so interesting. And that was Miss Del Rio, and that was for $14.39, and this is by Barbara Mujica. I've never seen Barbara with an accent, so I might be pronouncing that wrong. But again, this was 20% off, and it's a novel of Dolores Del Rio, the first major Latina star in Hollywood, who I know nothing about her. But 1910 Mexico is how we start. Very fascinating time period. I don't know a lot about Mexico at that time. One of the books, Sylvia Moreno Garcia's books, takes place in Mexico around that time period, so Gods of Jade and Shadow, that might be 1920s though, so it's kind of pushing it, but still, I am hungry, but not extremely, but I'm just gonna have some rice right now because this is just my little in-between meal right now. I had ribs and mac and cheese for lunch, so I had a pretty big lunch, but I'll catch up with y'all later. I didn't tell y'all what page we're starting on today, but we're gonna be starting on page 523, which is chapter 18. I have about 50 pages, I think 51 pages left of this, so hopefully I can get it all read in this sitting from 6 to 7:30. I'm gonna do the audiobook at 2.2 speed because I'm taking way too long to read this book. I did take a day off, and so that's actually like, I'm only a day over on the time it usually would take me. But still, I want to finish it because I want to start something new. I'm just in that mood to start something new. So let's get into it. We finished the book. We finally finished it. It took me forever to get through. So let me just give y'all a brief wrap up. I haven't written my review yet. I plan to do that tonight. But basically, we start out with what is Heredity? How is Heredity like invented? Like where the word came from and what it was first used for, being like royal families, of who is the heir to the throne, that kind of thing. We go all the way into the future, or to today, thinking about the future of genetically engineering people, if it is right, like morally, right to enhance people's genes. I personally do want that to be a thing to an extent, because it is a touchy subject for a lot of people. It's really, as they said, a lot of it falls back on politics, and that is so true, and economics. and then people are like, it may be ableist to people with disabilities, but I'm like, do we really want more people to have disabilities? I don't want anybody's life to be harder than it already is. So my thing is, having chronic illness, I don't want to pass that on to my children, hence why, like, one of the reasons I don't want kids, and I find kids annoying as it is, so that's why I don't want kids. But like, I wouldn't want to pass down something onto a kid. So let's say I have a deadly disease. I don't, but for an example, if somebody has a deadly disease, do they want their kids to suffer that same fate? I hope not. So if there is a way to genetically get rid of that trait, then I'm all for it. So for that kind of genetically engineering, that's what I think should be legal. And in some places it is, like I was telling you the case of, I don't know, there was something that was legal in Mexico that wasn't legal in the United States. But yeah, so I don't want to get too much into it because, as the book said, it does fall into politics a lot, and I personally don't like to have politics on my platforms because it is, politics literally are one of the biggest issues. It divides so much. Politics and religion, they divide, even though they're like, we're united. No, you're not. So we have all that. The writing was good, but a lot of this went over my head, so I think you should know. I mean, some of this I did know about going in, but a lot went over my head, so maybe do have some background knowledge before going into this. But I learned so much from this, so I definitely do recommend it, because my whole point in reading is to learn something new. That's on a quest in life to learn new things, so that is always my goal, and everything I do is to learn something. My goal every day when I wake up is to learn something, and I think I accomplish that goal like every day, because there's so much in this world that we can learn, and I learned quite a bit here, and I do think a lot of this is important. And the main message here, I think, is if you are trying to get pregnant or you're already pregnant, definitely have your genes looked at. Go to a geneticist to make sure that you're not going to pass down a disease, because you might not have it, but your partner might have the trait for it, the gene for it. So definitely look into that, going to a geneticist. So that's how this whole book started, because this man and his wife were starting a family, and they were already in their 30s, so it was encouraged, since they're in their 30s, that their kids might have a higher chance of having Down syndrome. But I think if you're just getting pregnant in general, trying to, definitely talk to a geneticist. I don't care if you're 21 or if you're 45, definitely. I would say talk to somebody, because you don't want your kid to be sick, do you? You want your kid to have the easiest life possible. But yeah, so we're done with this for the day. I got 49 pages. I did my math wrong earlier. But we will get into the Stephen Graham Jones book later tonight. It's freezing out here out of the blankets, but it's a little past 9. I had to do a rocket launch on City Skylines, but we are going to be starting in this scary tale of a book on page 85. Was that right? Yeah, 85. Can't wait to get into it. I'm just really pumped, since I did finish a book today after it's been like a week since I finished one. No, I think it's been shorter than that, but still it feels really good to finish a book. So I'm going to get into this one and then wrap things up, you know, midweek check-in when I get back. I ended up reading 20 pages in here, which was 2 chapters, getting me to page 105. And let's see where I'm going to be starting in Nosferatu 2 tonight. It will be on page 330. So I've read 69 pages today, so I'd like to read 40 more, but I don't know how doable that's going to be. Sorry for the burp. Okay, so let's look at the end of the week, or not end of the week, the midweek check-in. So with The Only Good Indians by Stephen Graham Jones, I'm 33% of the way through. And the Nosferatu by Joe Hill, I'm 47% of the way through. And for the 2022 reading challenge, I have read 83 books, and my goal was 80 books, so I am 20 books ahead of schedule and 104% of the way to my goal, so over it. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you made it all the way through, leave a deer emoji in the comments below. And don't forget to comment, rate, and subscribe, or ring that notification bell to be notified when all my videos go live. I'll see you in the next one. Bye!